they're playing with her, he said that as soon as like they made eye contact, I know babies can't really see. I think they see like shadows and lights and stuff when they're new. But he said that she was smiling at him, and it was a really special moment. So then he came back over with me and like just held my hand while they were stitching me up and massaging my stomach and getting everything else out. And then the doctor was like, "Okay, I'm going to put my finger up your rectum," and I was like, "What?" I didn't even get a chance to like ask why or anything. She just put it up there and took it back out, looked at it and said, "Okay, we're good." I have no idea what that was for, but it hurt. I'm telling you, I didn't have the epidural anymore, so I felt it all. And then another painful part, which is weird because you would think, okay, the labor should be painful, but it wasn't compared to all this other stuff, the massaging of the stomach, the putting your hand in there to get the stuff out. I'm not sure if they do that to everybody, but this is what happened to me. The stitching, and then so they put all this tape in the back of your back to hold the catheter for your epidural. This nurse comes, and instead of like gently removing the tape, she just fucking goes for it. I'm sorry guys. She just goes for it and like tears, and like it's like ripping this way, and like tearing all my tape out, but like not even with any sympathy for me. She was just like psh, and I was crying. I was crying while she was doing that because it hurt so bad, because obviously, I mean, I did still have a little bit of numbness, but obviously it's from your waist down. I felt everything up top, so when she was pulling all that, I was like, oh my god. And I can only imagine how it would have been if I would have had a hairy back. It would have been horrible. That hurt. And then as soon as the baby came out, it was like, it felt like a little, like something like slimy just slipping through. It felt really weird. And so after they were done cleaning me up and stuff, they were gonna move me over to a recovery room for an hour, and then they were going to transfer me over to my I don't even know what it's called, the room that I was gonna stay at for like the 2 days that I was supposed to stay there for. So I don't want to miss anything, so let me. I wrote it down, but I lost the paper. Okay. Oh, okay. So my baby weighed 6 pounds, 14 ounces, and was 19 inches long. And all of you that saw my belly, especially if you're on my Instagram and you saw my 38-week belly, I was big. So I thought I was having a big baby. And she came out so little, 6 pounds. Now, I can only imagine if I would have gone 40 weeks or even past 40 weeks, because it's very common for first-time moms to go past 40 weeks. And I couldn't do it. So I also try to help myself naturally induce myself. So like with old wives' tales and stuff. And apparently it worked. I'll make a video of what I did later on, but it worked. Sent me to labor 38 weeks, and she was healthy, she was good. Okay, so after they cleaned me up, they wheeled me over to the recovery room, and they left me there for a little bit. We did some skin to skin. We tried to get her to latch, but she was having trouble latching, and it just wasn't happening. And then as soon as she came out, actually, let me go back a little bit. As soon as she came out, I started feeling period cramps. So I felt like I was on my period, and I was so hysterical in there, you guys. I was really hysterical. I just started screaming. I was like, oh my god, I'm feeling period cramps. Is this normal? Can I have some medication? Give me some painkillers. Like, I was just so like hysterical. Like, oh my god, it hurts. Probably exaggerating a little bit at that point, but they said that it was normal, that because as soon as she's out, like, my uterus starts contracting so that it shrinks back to its normal size. So, but yeah, we were in the recovery, and she didn't latch well, so but after like an hour, I was begging them for water because I felt so dehydrated, and they finally gave me water because they kept saying no, you can't have ice chips. I was like, oh my gosh. So they finally gave me water. It was like the best drink of my life. And then they got me ready to go to my hospital room where I was going to stay, and they took me up to the 8th floor, and then the guy, like, he puts my bed next to the bed that in the room, and then I just look at it, and I just look at him, and I'm like, how am I supposed to get over there? Because I was in so much pain. Everything hurt so bad down there. I felt like, like my insides were hanging out or something. And he's like, just like wiggle over. And I was like, what the? And it was a man, so I was like, you've never done this before. Okay, so I told him straight up. I was like, okay, give me some time. So I like moved my head, and then I moved my shoulders, and then like little by little I started moving like from top to bottom of my body. I started wiggling it over, and then my hips, and then my legs, and then again my head, and then my shoulder, my hips, and my legs, and I finally made it over. Finally made it over. It was so painful to move over to the other bed. I just wish that they would have left me in the bed that I was already in. So I was there, and I was supposed to be there for 48 hours, and for like vaginal birth, you're supposed to be there 48 hours, but I wasn't because I didn't want to be there anymore. I made sure with the pediatrician that my baby was good, and she was okay and healthy, and the nurse told me if her pediatrician discharges the baby, I can go too. So the pediatrician discharged my baby. And then they called my doctor, and the doctor gave them the okay to let me go too. So I was only there for 20, maybe like 32 hours. Yeah, I was there for 32 hours. I was there for one full day, but yeah, 32 hours. So I was really happy to go home. But while I was at the hospital, they were still trying to get baby to latch. They were trying to help me with nursing, and it just wasn't happening, and I felt so bad because she was crying and she was hungry. She wasn't eating. I wasn't feeding her because she wouldn't latch. So I started up on formula. And I know a lot of moms don't want to give formula, and I know it's not the best thing, but you gotta do what you gotta do when it's just not happening, and that's what I did. While she was in the hospital, I did formula feed, and then she ate. She was happy. So it was a really weird, different experience to have her there because I had never changed a diaper before, so I changed the diaper. And I'm a first-time mom, so everything was so different and new. It was a really nice learning experience. And then we didn't sleep the night that we were there because she was really fussy and crying, and my husband wasn't much help because he loves to sleep. And that's what he did. He did help me a little bit, but I felt like I was more on my own. And then I would expect for me to sleep because I'm the one that was in labor for 17 hours, and I'm the one that gave birth. But no, he was the one that was tired. But I mean, he did help me a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to make a separate video about I'll just do it here. Okay, so peeing in the hospital. I was even scared to pee. I couldn't poop. They gave me stool softeners. While I was there, I still didn't poop because I was too scared. Any little pressure that I would put, like even sitting down, it was so painful to sit down or even lay back down on my bed when I would stand up to go pee. And it was like dramatically, like it was so much blood. It was like my period times like 5. It was a lot. And they give you these giant pads. They look like diapers. So thankful for those. I know in my hospital bag I took 2 of the Infinity nighttime ones. Those would have been so worthless there. So I took advantage and I took some of those home. And I only used them 2 days after I came home. And then after that, the bleeding wasn't so heavy. It was still heavy because I was changing my pad every hour to 2 hours. Till this day, I am still bleeding. And not as heavy. It's just, it's slowing down a lot. But I do still use pads, and I'm on my 3rd box of Infinity Nighttime. So it's like I've gone through like a box a week basically, and I bought the big ones, the big boxes, because it's pointless to get the little ones. You're just wasting money. So if you're gonna get pads, make sure you get the big boxes because they'll really come in handy. You're not gonna bleed for a day or 2. You're gonna bleed for a while. Okay, so yeah, I didn't poop at the hospital. hurt to pee, but they gave me like this numbing spray that did help a little, and a peri bottle to rinse down there, because you can't wipe. Don't wipe, ladies. You have to like just pat dry with paper towel, with toilet paper or whatever. What else? Yeah. So then I came home and I couldn't sit down. I couldn't lay down because it hurt so bad. I think that lasted about a week. After a week, I did feel a lot better, and I actually took advantage of that. I took advantage that I felt better, and it was like I started acting like I didn't just have an episiotomy and I didn't just have stitches. And that was a really big mistake, because what happened was that I overdid it and I tore back open a little part of my cut. So it started burning really bad, and I checked down there. I know a lot of women are scared to check down there, but I was like, I gotta do it. I was scared too, but I checked, and what happened was that let's say this is the cut, and at the end of the cut is where it opened up. So it happened again to me, because I couldn't I could not poop. I had to go to the bathroom, and I just had to. So I was just like, forget it. Like, I need to go. I'm going to push, because you're not supposed to push. I'm going to push, and if I open up a little bit, it's going to be okay. And I regret pushing so bad. Just get stool softeners. If your doctor doesn't prescribe it to you, I read that Colis is good while you're breastfeeding. So I bought mine at CVS at 10. It's like 10 capsules, and it helps. It helps so much. So what happened was that I tore. So now I have another tear here at the beginning of my incision, and I have another one here. So it's healed. It looks like it's healed up in the middle, but now I have it opening here and opening here. So that's gonna have to heal on its own. I do have a doctor's appointment in a week, so I'm going. Obviously, she's going to see, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna tell me that it needs to heal on its own. So it still hurts, like, to walk a little bit, but it's not as bad as the first couple of days. So I am breastfeeding right now. I'm breastfeeding and formula feeding, because that's just the way that I want it to go. Yeah, so I think that's basically it that I want to tell you guys about my labor story. I probably left some things out, but I probably won't remember. If you guys have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I'll give you the honest, brutal truth, because I wish that somebody would have told me things that I had to find out the hard way, like the massaging of the stomach and like pushing on the stomach and, you know, stuff like that. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, it hurt, and it was a really bad experience for me. It was the worst pain of my life. But I mean, I have my baby here, and I'm happy that she's here, but for now, I'm not having another kid. I'm not doing that again. Well, maybe in a couple years, I'll, like, forget all the pain that I went through, and I won't be traumatized anymore, and I'll go ahead and have another kid. But the one thing that I will definitely do different is that I'm going to walk every day, because I never walked. And another thing that I'm going to do different is get the epidural as soon as I can get it, because if I can make my life easier, I will. And that's one way to make my life easier while I'm there. So yeah, that's basically it, you guys. So my baby's sleeping. I got her to sleep. I put her passy in, and she's just knocked out. Alright, so I will be doing videos like my 1 month postpartum, because I am losing weight and my stomach is shrinking down. Not where I want to be, obviously. I'm about to be a month postpartum, and it's not where I want to be, but it is progression, and I will be going on a diet that I know works. And I did get a belly bandit, which is also helping, because I feel my stomach less droopy. So if y'all want to go, like, if y'all want to get have your stomach go back, I suggest a belly bandit, but I got mine really late, so you guys just go ahead and get that early. So you can start wearing it as soon as you guys get home. So it'll help more than it's helping me. But yeah, it's a lot of help. Belly Bandit. I got it at Babies R Us. But they also have a website, bellybandit.com. And I'll probably do a review on that as well. So thank you guys for watching.